Hey, my name's Cody, and in this video, we're gonna be talking about softboxes. What is a softbox? Why you would want to use a softbox, and I'm also gonna go over 4 softboxes that I have that I think might be able to show you some pros and cons and differences between different softboxes and help you make the right choice and might even save you some money. All right, let's get into it. So what is a softbox? Well, right here, we have a giant softbox. This softbox is attached to this Amaran 300C. It has a Bowens mount attachment. That makes these lights very professional because I can use them in a wide variety of ways. So the softbox is a very quick, very convenient way for you to diffuse your light and get a soft light on your subject. Let's take a look at the inside of these softboxes to get a better understanding of what's actually happening here. So what we see here is a grid layer. This grid actually helps direct the light. We'll get into that more a little bit later. There's a piece of Velcro on the inside of this softbox that is holding this in place. So I'm actually gonna take this out now. This is really important. You don't want to get a softbox without a grid. You definitely want to use a grid. Now the next layer that we see is actually the diffusion. Now a good softbox company is gonna give you 2 different layers of diffusion. They'll give you one that is a little bit thicker and one that is a little bit softer so more light can get through. This is also attached with Velcro. This is what actually makes your light soft. As the light comes off, it's very bright and very hard. And so we need to shine it through a piece of material to soften that light up. You do end up losing some power technically, but you gain the soft quality of the diffused light. So now we can see inside the softbox. This is just a reflective surface. This whole inside is reflective fabric. The reason this is reflective is so as that light comes out, it continues to bounce around and be powerful as it comes through that diffusion layer. So this is Aputure's newest softbox. This is the Aputure LightDome 3. And they did something really cool with this softbox. And you'll see as we go through these different softboxes here, why this one stands out over these other 3. And here is the softbox. You'll notice that I've got this big piece of metal. Here's the Bowens mount. I found the trick for this one to work well is if I shake it out a little bit like that and then push it down onto the ground. It snaps into place right here. And now you can see the softbox is built. All I need to do is put these Velcro pieces together, just like this. And just like that, I've got this massive softbox ready to go for my diffusion and my grid layer. A little bit heavy, but for the convenience of how fast this is, probably the best design on the market right now. This just came out recently. What an amazing design. So let's put this off to the side and I'll show you the other softboxes. This is the LightDome SE. This is a smaller softbox, but what I really like about this softbox is that I can fit this into my luggage. So if I travel anywhere and I need to have a light setup and I need to have a softbox, I always bring this one. So let's open it up and take a look. Now you'll notice as I open this one, these little rods here. And now I need to put those rods into something. And here is the Bowens mount, and here are the holes for all of those rods. It's kind of a weird thing to learn, but eventually you can do this pretty quick. Now, there's a colored rod here. This one has a red dot, and you'll notice there's only 4 that have the red dot, and then I've got 4 dots right here on this. So those red dots go into those little circles. So I'm gonna start with this one, but actually I like to start them down inside the rods like this. So now I'm putting the red dot in the circle, and then I go over to the opposite side, 180 degrees, and do the next one. And you can see I'm fighting that Velcro. And then I go 90 degrees to the side and do that one. And now 180 degrees to this side and do this one. If you got this into the wrong one, it's gonna be off and it's not gonna fit. So then I have the rest of these to go inside. And there's even a little technique to get these inside. You kind of learn it as you go, but I go around in a circle and do all of the middles, and now I can continue on. The reason why you're gonna save money on this softbox is because you have to do this whole process. You have to put that together. Let's now put our Velcro together, and now I have a decently sized softbox that's not as big as the LightDome 3, but it's definitely big enough. Like if you're a YouTuber or you're somebody who's doing a talking head, like this is totally enough. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if you want to save some money, I think getting this one, you save quite a bit of money compared to investing into the LightDome 3. I think this is a great investment if you're trying to save some money but still have a high quality softbox. The LightDome SE is a great choice. I'm gonna go on to the Nanlite. Now, what I like about the Nanlite is that it's very big. Let's open this up, and you'll notice that this is a round case, whereas both of the Aputures were flat. And that's very convenient because when you're hauling all of this gear around, having a flat case, make sure that you're not bending these bars, because these could be bent. For example, if I put my gear down here and then I come and put something else heavy onto those bars, well, now these are getting bent up and not something that I want to bend really. So here's the Nanlite. You'll notice this one here has its own little mechanism of popping these open. So how these work is that you actually pull this out and then it clicks into place. So here we go. And it just clicks into place. And just like the rods on the SE, I'm gonna do them kind of evenly spread. So I'm gonna, if I do the right side, I'm gonna do the left side, vice versa. Why I'm doing that is so that the fabric spreads out evenly and doesn't get twisted. See, that one just popped. I didn't have it clicked all the way. And then eventually, you can just kind of quickly slam through these. There we go. Actually, this is a really good design. I like this. It's a little bit heavy, similar to the LightDome 3. I think this is quick, but I prefer how the Aputures pack flat. That's really cool design. There we go. And you can see I've got my Bowens mount adapter right there. And here's my layer of diffusion. And I also have a grid for this one. It's a big softbox, really big. And I'm gonna show you this final one. Now this one's very unique because this is actually what's called a beauty dish. And typically people will just use a softbox. They won't use a beauty dish. So this is the grid that comes with it. This is a really cool design. I've got this center piece right here. You can see all the rods are already in and the fabric is already down. There's no Velcro here. So this one, as I push down, the rods go out. And now I'm gonna push this onto, there's a little center rod on the front, in the middle here, and it snaps into place. And this is what it looks like when it's all put together. Now this piece of metal right here is what makes this a beauty dish. The light can go in, it bounces off, and it creates a different effect that we commonly use in flash photography for beauty portraits. Okay, so let me just show you one little pro tip. I bring the light to the softbox on the ground. The reason I do this is because it is possible that the softbox, if I'm trying to put it in like this, the softbox doesn't actually fully click in. If one of those tabs is out, then it's possible for the softbox to fall. Now, I'm not really worried about the softbox getting damaged, but if I were to, for example, put this light on a boom arm over a model, and then in the middle of a session, I have the softbox falling off onto the model, well, that's a big no-no. This light is really cool. It has two handles, one here, one here. And now I can just bring this down to the light, rotate it until I find it's inside, and then turn it to the left, and now it's not going anywhere. Here's my beautiful girlfriend, Hame. She's so kind, she's going to model for us. Or for all of these soft boxes, I'm not gonna change the C-stand position. I'm not gonna change Hame's position or the little desk that we have here. I'm just gonna change the soft boxes. The first shot with the layer of diffusion, and then the second shot, I'll put the grid onto the softbox, and we'll see how that affects the image, especially the background. I'm gonna turn off our key light, and we'll turn this one on and see what the effects are on Hame. Okay, so this is just a reference. This is the Aputure Amaranth 300C with no modifier on it, no softbox. This is just hard light down. This is actually at 8%. And if I turn this up, you'll quickly see how bright this can get. Obviously not the best look. So let's turn this back down and let's get a softbox on here. This is the LightDome SE with no grid. And as you can see, it's a very pleasing effect. This is the smaller of these softboxes that we're going to use today. And I think this is great. You can see we've got beautiful soft light coming all the way through the scene. We've got a nice wraparound, so The wraparound means that the soft light, the source is so big that it's actually able to wrap around her face, and you can see these shadows on this side, and we have beautiful catch lights in her eyes. Now let's take a look at the background back here. You can see we do have a bit of light spilling onto the background. Now, if we wanted to eliminate the light spill on the background, that's where the grid is going to come into play. Here I have the grid for the LightDome SE. I'm just gonna quickly put it up into place. And now it's all the way into place. Now look how dark the background is. We still have a good amount of light coming into the scene onto Hame. We still have wraparound happening, but it is a bit darker. And I think that this looks great. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is your budget option. You're gonna get a great soft light with this, especially if you're doing just a simple talking head shot and you don't need to do like a full body shot. I think that this is a great option. This is the LightDome 3. As you can see, it's an even softer light, which might be hard for some of you to tell, but if we compare the LightDome SE, which is a little bit of a smaller softbox, compared to this LightDome 3, which is a larger light source at the exact same distance, now we can see a soft wraparound happening around her face. We get those beautiful catch lights in her eyes, and the background should have even more light spilling onto it because this is a larger softbox. So let me put the grid on. Here is the LightDome 3 grid with the grid on, and you can see how much light has been cut from the background here, but we're still getting a beautiful exposure here on Hame. Huge catch lights. This light just looks amazing. Now we are looking at the Nanlite softbox Parabolic 90. This is a 90 centimeter softbox. The Aputure LightDome 3 is an 88 centimeter softbox. So very big light source coming in. Again, beautiful catch lights, nice wrap around the face, and here's the spill coming onto the background. So I think that this looks great. Literally none of these softboxes are bad. All of these are good options. So let me put the grid on really quick. So now you can see the background light has been cut quite a bit. Now the Nanlite has a very big grid. They're about this big, the squares. The Aputure lights, the squares are probably about this big. So I think that there's more light spilling onto the background with the Nanlite here, but it still is a pretty good effect. It still has cut quite a bit of that light out. And yeah, again, beautiful look. Now we are looking at the SunPower Pluto 116. It is a massive softbox, 116 centimeters across. So this is the largest light source that we have in a softbox. But like I mentioned, this is a beauty dish. So there is a little piece of metal there that the light comes in, reflects out, and comes out. And as I'm looking at the softbox now, it almost is like one of those beauty rings. Not quite like a ring light, but I can see that there is a darker spot in the middle, and then the outside has this halo effect. Now, what a beauty dish actually does is from the highlight to the shadow, it's actually quite a bit smoother than a softbox. Very nice big soft source right here coming into the scene. Quite a bit of light spilling onto the background because we have such a big source. Let's throw the grid on really quickly and see what this looks like. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of that light has been cut from the background. Still getting a beautiful soft light coming, wrapping around, getting huge, beautiful catch lights. When Hame looks up into the light here, we're getting these beautiful catch lights. This is a beautiful look. It's very heavy. We don't always use it, but we do like to use it. Okay, so that just about does it for this episode on softboxes. We've gone through the LightDome SE, the LightDome 3, the Nanlite 90, and the SunPower 116. Now, each of these has their pros and cons. Personally, I'm gonna choose the LightDome SE for anybody who wants to save money. I'm gonna choose the LightDome 3 for somebody who wants to do the most professional production shoots because it's very quick, it's big enough, and these two are also great. I just like the design on these two more, especially the LightDome SE if I'm gonna go traveling or if I want to save some money. So let me know in the comment section down below, did you even notice a difference between these softboxes? And if you had to pick one of these softboxes, which one would it be? All right, I'll see you in the next episode.